Hey guys, today I really thought it was an important idea to throw out a video to kind of accommodate those with lower back pain. I know a lot of you probably go to the gym and it doesn't help you much at all because you don't have a really solid plan of how to eliminate this lower back pain that you've been experiencing for however long. So what I wanted to do was put a video together for you to show you what to do to stretch out and then what certain exercises to do, two predominant exercises to do in order to strengthen muscles so that this muscular imbalance can be solved and eliminated for good. What I'm going to say is this. You probably have some sort of anterior tilt, which meaning your core is not so tight, your glutes are not so tight, your hamstrings might be, might not be. I'm not exactly sure, but because your glutes are not tight and your abs are not tight, your quads are pulling a lot, and your lower back is pinching a lot because those two are the tight muscles. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the foam roller, and for those of you who haven't seen it, there it is. The foam roller, what you're gonna do, you're gonna take the shoulder blades, you're gonna put this foam roller right underneath your shoulder blades, cross your fingers behind your head, and extend yourself fully. Now I want your heels to be on the ground, and I want yourself to be over this foam roller right now, just as I am in this video. I want you to take deep breaths and notice how I'm sinking into the foam roller. I'm slowly letting my body relax into the foam roller so that this can act as if it was a deep tissue massage, and it's called self-myofascial release. Pretty much what's going to happen is we're going to get a lot of abundant pressure out of the thoracic spine before we move down towards the lumbar. So as you're doing this, I want you to try to keep the foam roller in one position that hurts a lot for about 30 seconds to a minute. Once you've alleviated some of the tension and the pain in that area, you're going to roll down the back, which means you're going to roll upward on the roller to get a lower area that hurts even more. Every time you feel an area that's excruciating, if you must, you want to stop on that, take deep breaths and try to sink into it so that it's going to seize up a little bit, and then it's going to just nice and slowly relax and calm down. After you've gone through your whole back, we're going to move on to the next stretch. For the next stretch, what you're going to do is you're going to take your left leg and extend it out. You're going to put your right leg in towards you so that your foot is on the ground. You're going to take your right elbow, pinning it into your right knee, and reaching your left hand out behind you. What you want to do is push your elbow against the knee and pull your body towards the left with your left hand to slowly rotate your trunk. What you want to make sure you're doing is you're staying nice and upright so that way your down lower lumbar area and the erector spine can get an effective stretch. Essentially what this is doing is freeing up the lower back. So I want you to hold this for about 45 seconds to a minute on each side, taking deep breaths and trying to rotate more and more. Now remember, this is a stretch, so don't try to force it too much. Only force it as much as necessary, because if you force it too much, you might actually end up clenching it and tightening it up and making it worse for you. Alright, moving on, what we're going to do next is the quad foam roll. So what we're going to do is we're going to start almost like a plank. You're going to get on your forearms, having the foam roller right at the very tippity top of your quads, right near your hips, and you're going to take your feet off the ground. You're going to keep your body in a nice straight formation like you see. And what you want to do is you want to make sure your toes are pointed down towards the ground but not touching the ground. This way an optimal amount of pressure is pushed onto your quads so that you can get a lot of self-myofascial release happening here. What you want to do is the same principle as the first one. You just want to relax into it, sink into it. This one might be painful for most of you. I'm sorry about that. But as you continue on, you're going to move up and down until you get to the end of the leg, the other end of the leg, must I say. Alright. So now that you got your quads all foam rolled out nice, what you want to do is you want to flip over to your IT band and your abductors. So this is going to be probably one of the most excruciatingly painful ones you're going to do, and I want you to stick through this one and try to keep nice and calm, nice and collective. For this stretch, what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your hip on the foam roller. You're going to put your arm down on the side like you're doing a side plank. And once you've got yourself there, you're going to lift your body onto your hip and roll down until you get more on the leg. You're going to notice an excruciating amount of pain, and you want to make sure that you have your hip over the other hip in a nice straight line. Your shoulders, try to keep them in a nice straight line as well so you get the optimal pressure in the right place. As you release that place, which is not going to feel so pleasant, you're going to roll upwards so you get the roller down towards the lower portion of your leg. Roll as necessary. After you've gotten this done on both sides, you're going to come up into the hip flexor stretch. So what you want to do is you want to start in the kneeling position, and you want to put your left leg out, let's say. And once you get your leg out, you want your leg that is out in front of you to be at about a 45-degree angle. So your shins should be at a 45-degree angle, and your back leg should be at a 90-degree angle. What you want to do is you want to go into a 45-degree angle with your back leg and a 90-degree angle in the front leg. This way you're stretching out that back hip flexor. You're gonna feel a really deep pull if you're doing it correctly. Try to sit up as straight as you can so you get a really good stretch in there. You're gonna hold this one for about a minute on each side, just because this is generally probably one of the more tense areas in your body at this moment. Alright, so now that you're done with the stretching, we're going to go on towards a little bit of a workout. It's nothing crazy, but this is more of a focus thing. What I want you to focus on doing is laying flat on your back. At this very moment, you're laying flat on your back, you're tucking your feet in towards you so your heels are grounded down deep into the ground with your feet about shoulder width distance apart from each other. What I want you to focus on doing is squeezing your butt as hard as you can so that you slowly lift your hips up. You don't want to lift this up through your lower back because it's going to contradict the whole entire purpose of doing this exercise. So you're really going to want to focus on squeezing your butt as hard as you can to bring your hips off the ground. Every time you bring it up, I want you to hold it for about 4 seconds, squeezing as hard as you possibly can, slowly controlling your way down. I want you to really get familiar with what it feels like to do this, because this will help in further videos when you start to learn how to do things like deadlifting and squatting. When I demonstrate those, you'll understand the concept a lot easier. After this exercise, what you're going to do is the ab hold. You've probably seen this in our home fitness challenge, and this one's a really simple one, but a very effective one. What you're going to do is you're just going to lay flat down on the ground. You're going to keep yourself nice and extended, and all I want you to do is, while having your arms on the ground, inch your arms forward, tucking in your core, reaching your shoulders off of the floor, and trying to shove your shoulders in towards your stomach. So you really contract the stomach and just hold it there. You're going to be holding this one for about a minute, so bear with me, tighten it up, and get through it. So that's all I got to say today. If you want to do this, which I really highly recommend you doing it, I recommend you doing it at least 3 times a week. You can do this with your other workouts. Generally speaking, you would want to do it before your workouts, so that way you have everything kind of more into a better alignment of sorts when you're doing your next workout. You're going to realize that your pelvis is going to be in a lot better of a position, and you'll also have better optimal power throughout your workout. So if you want details on how to get through this workout, if you in a written plan of sorts, you can go check down the blog post below, and that will have the video on top and then the explanation on the bottom. You take it easy, have a lovely day, and get rid of that lower back pain.